So you've done your nails, and then after the first week, you begin to notice that there is a gap between the nail enhancement and your cuticles. As the weeks run by, you begin to notice that that gap becomes wider. Now, this happens as a result of your natural nails growing alongside the nail enhancements, and the more it grows, the more that gap is going to come between the nail enhancement and your cuticles. What you need to do is to visit your nail tech so that that can be rebalanced to enable you to have strength to your nails again. This is what we're going to be treating in this tutorial as I take my client's nails from this to this in few steps. My name is Kachi and welcome to my YouTube channel. Not all nail enhancements should be refilled. Now, when a client comes to you for a nail refill, first thing you want to do is examine those nails to check if that enhancement is still very strong on a natural nail or is super weak with a lot of lifting. If you notice that the nail enhancement is compromised in many ways, please just soak off those nails. Don't bother trying to do a refill. However, if you notice that the nail enhancement is still very strong, like that of my clients, then you can go ahead with beginning the refill process, starting with taking out the previous design on the set. Alongside removing the previous design, I'm also going to be flattening out that product along the previous cuticle area, just so that I can have a flatter surface to work with. And doing this would also help to expose if there are any lifts that could be hiding, because sometimes it would look as if that nail is really strong, but by the time you start filing and reducing out the product, you'll find out that there are lifts on these nails that needs to be taken off. So whenever you notice that there are lifts, please file it off. And it is very important, don't be lazy about it, because if you don't file off the lift, it is very possible that you could trap your monomer, your liquid, in that lift, and then it will just begin to breed bacteria and infection, which is not going to be nice to the natural nails. You have to be very observant and understand what could be happening with your client's fingers. Take, for example, my client's thumb. I saw that white patch and I thought it was a lift, but filing that part over and over again wasn't doing anything. So I had to examine the nails properly and notice that she was going through onycholysis, which is the separation of the nails, that is the nail plate from the nail bed. I pointed it out to her and I told her one or two things to do, and then we continued with the process. During a refill, your client might decide to change the shape of her nails, and that is fine. You just need to know what to do and how to file that shape so that it doesn't look like you are doing a refill. Now, my client had on squares before, and now I'm trying to just file out an oval shape. So I have to make sure that all the sides are nicely tucked in, and I have to make sure that the bulkiness of that square, especially on the free edge, does not appear on this particular shape, because when it comes to filing almonds or ovals, you want to make sure that every part of the nail shape does not have any angles pointing out. So I have to file the nails in on both sides and making sure that the evidence of the previous square doesn't show. I do this to all of the nails and I make sure that everything is on point, and then we move to the next stage, which is to prep the natural nails of the overgrown part. So I'm using my sanding band right now to go around the cuticle area very gently. You really do not want to be aggressive when you are doing this. What you are after is removing or filing off that shine of the natural nails, and you can also very well remove lifts using this bit. However, not all lifts can be filed away with a sanding band, because it can create a lot of heat for the client's natural nails. Take, for example, this middle finger has some lift on it, so using this bit would work, but it will take time and it might be a little bit discomforting to my client, so I will clean up that lift later on. However, for small lifts like what you can see now, this bit can also file it off. But remember, you want to use gentle movements when you are prepping that natural nails. You want to avoid anything that would create discomfort to your client. There is no point in your client being discomforted when they are with you. So I quickly switched back to the large barrel bit to remove that excess lifting on that middle finger. I'm just going to gently cut out that lift and file down that product for it to be flat. Once that is done, I'm going to go in with my ball bit and I'm going to be lifting up the cuticles for easy cutting. I am not going to be doing a very rigorous cuticle treatment. My client doesn't really need it. But trust me, there are situations where you can see an overgrown cuticle situation where you need to do rigorous cuticle cleanup, even if you are doing a refill. But thankfully, for my client's case, that wasn't the situation. So doing this prep did not even take a long time. I think the two hands took about 6 minutes, and yeah, I love that timing. So once I've lifted up the cuticles, I'm going in now with a cuticle trimmer, that is using this fork like cutter to just gently shave away the cuticles that we have raised up, and just cut off any of that skin that is not needed, right? You want to be very careful when you're doing this. See, in every process of your nail treatment for your clients, you want to be very careful to avoid injuries. Zero blood, that is the goal every point of the way. So I'm just going to be shaving off the cuticles, and once I am done, the prep process is over and done with. These are the nails. I'm just going to be cleaning them now, which is the final stage. Just remove all that dust on the nails, and so we can go ahead and prime these nails. I'm just going to be using my primer from Planet Nails. This is like one of my favorite primers ever. Once I'm done applying the primer on these nails, I'm just going to wait for the primer to dry up a little bit, and then it'll be time for application. This is the quantity of monomer I'm going to be using for this fill on this hand. And yes, I know you're probably thinking that the monomer is too small, but trust me, it's better to have little monomer and then keep refilling your damping dish than to have a lot of monomer in your damping dish that you might have to throw away because it is too much. All right, so I've just started my application, and I'm picking just enough powder to cover up that gap between the cuticles and the nail enhancement. Now, while I am putting the product on the nails and just brushing it down towards the free edge, I am making sure that that cuticle area is properly covered, and I'm making sure that that apex is not taken away. So therefore, I'm making sure that my application is not super flat, right? Remember that we filed off some of that product, and therefore you're going to have some flatness on the nails. Now, when you are filling out that gap, you want to make sure that the nail is proportionally correct, meaning you need to apply the powder in such a way that the cuticles, the apex, and the free edge is proportionally right. Okay, it is very important that even when you are doing a refill, it is not going to be so obvious. In fact, you want to make sure that nobody would know that what you are doing is a refill. So basically, it is always good to be meticulous with every move that you are making. Now, the refill shouldn't really take a long time. Application for this took me about 4 minutes, if I remember correctly, right? And then once I'm done, I just wait for it to dry, and when it is dry, we can finally file this product. Now, I'm not going to be using a hand file to file these nails because the application is very smooth, and I'd already filed the shape at the very beginning of this whole process. So what I'm doing now is going back with my gold large barrel bit, and I'm using this to just file the surface of the nails, make it really smooth, and making sure that I do not have any product with weird angles on these nails. So I'm tucking in the cuticle area, the side walls, and making sure that the free edge is looking really good. I just need to point out that this is why it is absolutely important that your application is flawless. You're not going to stress yourself at all when it's time to file. After using the large barrel bit to file the nails, I'm now using a buffer to buff the free edge so that any rough edges is going to be smoothened out with the buffer. Once that is done, I clean the nails and we can come into designs. At this point, you can knock yourself out with any designs that you want to, but for my client, she's going for a very simple white marble. And so to get that marble effect, I'm first going in with blooming gel, a very thin coat of blooming gel on these nails. You can see that it's not getting to the cuticle area, and that is fine because the spread of the marble is not going to get halfway across the nails, to be honest. So yeah, after applying the blooming gel, we are not curing in the lamp. We're going to come in with white polish. Just going to have some of that on my nail, and then with my brush I'm just going to be doing wiggly lines. Marble designs is freakishly easy to achieve. It's one of the easiest designs that you can know as a nail tech. So if you're a beginner nail tech and you're thinking, what kind of design should I have to my arsenal? Please, a marble design should be the first on your list because you cannot go wrong with doing marbles. Once I'm done applying the white, I just wait for a little bit to let it set and let the gel bloom, and then I cure in the lamp for 60 seconds. I'm coming in with top coat now as we have reached the end of this tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, do not forget to leave your comments in the comment section because I'll be going through them. So if you have questions, suggestions, or anything entirely, just let me know. No hate though, please, because I love you. I'll be seeing you soon on another one. Take care of yourself. Bye.